With Armslist, you can shop the extensive list of local and nationwide firearms classified, now with more confidence because of their built-in firewall. For only $6.99 a month for personal use, or $30 a month for business vendors, so when you're in the market, please consider Armslist. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Armslist. Right, here we go. Come on, let's get that jazz hands up there. We're taking it back from tourists. There you go. I hope you guys have your big girl panties on. This is episode 1064 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast on Rumble.
Oh, there you go. Have you ever shot that gun? Have you ever shot that gun?
I don't think he has. I have.
Good question. I don't know. This one is for so right now I'm holding up a FS2000 for everyone on audio. This is for Babyface B, who is very tired today.
There's one for sale on the internet nearby, and I just can't bring myself to spend what the guy's asking.
Yeah,
I love to own one, but
what kind of dumb money are they asking for?
$2,500 for one.
Oh, fuck that. No.
Yeah,
I just can't. I can't.
Babyface was asking me over the weekend what I paid for it. I got this from Chris Illog.
Mm-hmm.
He was a big fan of the podcast. I'm not sure if he's in America anymore or what's going on.
He's still around.
Yeah. Shout out to him. And then Babyface was asking me what I paid for it, which I know I didn't spend more than $1,500 on this back then, but I got a friends and family deal. So
I think when they were closing those out, I remember one place was selling those way under $1,000.
Yeah.
Oh God!
Babyface, look, mine has the built-in flashlight.
I know yours even has a flashlight built in. It's super cool.
Look at that!
I can't bring myself to pay. I'm not a bullpup.
They don't even make these. Do you have one of these, Walter?
No, I don't care for the styling of the gun myself. I don't.
The only
it's a boat.
I want
it looks like a ship.
It's a lot of plastic.
Yeah.
It's called the tactical tuna. You know that, right?
Yeah,
it's the tactical tuna because it looks like a tuna fish.
Yeah, it's a big fish. Yeah.
I'll take the AUG. I'll take the AUG.
Yeah, no, the AUG is It's the best.
But that's classic in movies. That's in a ton of sci-fi movies. A ton.
I just can't get myself to spend it, man.
A ton of sci-fi movies. Walter, what are you holding up? Patrick has given up on guns. He surrendered.
I'm so busy today. I've been just balls to the wall today.
I have the new on the market Mac 9.
Very nice. Very nice. Juicy.
Have
you shot it, Walter? Have you shot it?
Not yet. No. But yeah, it takes MP5 mags, has last shot hold open because they have a modified MP5 mag with that little
nipple,
that little tit on the back.
Oh, so if you use the regular MP5s, it doesn't hold open, though.
I was just about to ask, can you use the regular MP5
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's no
regular MP5 mag in there like Flynn.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it's nice.
Oh, sweet.
So yeah, it's new on the market. SDS is bringing them in, or Military Armament Corp, excuse me, and it's made in Turkey, of course.
It is.
Has fire control similar to a AR-15, so there's probably a good chance that those super safety kind of things would probably clickety click in here.
I'd love to see that.
Picatinny rail in the back.
Very nice. So SHF stock coming.
I'm thinking about it. This one, they have these little grooves in the side of the receiver, but there's also the screw right there for the ejector, so that kind of blocks, because that's not long enough for a stock. So, and it's the same way on that side too. But not to say that one couldn't be made, but works really nice as a side folder. So, we'll see. Nice. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it looks good. It
has very with the MP5 mag, it gives it a nice look. So.
I'll go full screen on it here in a second. Babyface, you no guns, huh?
Nothing.
We can't convince you.
I'm naked with guns today now.
Oh, okay.
All
right. So today you're a communist, basically.
100%. Yeah. Secretly, I've always been
he's just surrendering to that. Wow, he must be tired.
I'm telling you, it's been a day. It's been a day.
Wow. Okay. We'll see if we could cheer him up during this podcast. I doubt it. But we'll try to cheer him up. Like I said, it's episode 1064, Free for All Monday. We've got Babyface P, we've got Walter Keller, just the three of us here. A couple of things. Yes, just the three of us. We haven't done that in a while, right?
It feels like it's been a while.
Yeah. Let me take us off the screen. I'll show look at that. See, this is our logo for the day. So we'll check it out. We got a green-eyed scruffy dog. That's for you, Babyface. I did a lot of work went into that. You're welcome. He's not happy.
Thank you. Thank you. Do I have to give you a thank? Okay.
So Walter was asking about the gator because
Yep.
I try to do anthropomorphic when I can. So the dog is anthropomorphic right there. You know, which for anyone who doesn't know, that is like a creature that looks like a man but has the
humanized creatures.
Yeah, humanized like an animal. So, like in other words, a man's body but dog's head. Or in the case of the gator here, it's a gator body with, a man's body. Well, it kind of got gator scales on it with a gator head. The eyes are blue. Couldn't control that one apparently, but it does have a mohawk. You've seen this in nature, Walter.
Okay.
No? Okay. I guess you haven't.
Not the mohawk.
The other day we were looking at a gimp gator.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember that? We were looking at that gimp gator.
I do. I do.
Chopped in half by I don't know what.
Tailless beast.
Yeah, and then the eagle has green eyes too, which actually looks pretty good. Yeah, you know. The green eyes are for Patrick, if anyone wants to know. And then did you see the murder? What?
Oh,
what?
Oh man, drones, man.
The murder. Did you guys see the murder drones in there?
The what?
The murder drones. Do you know why I say murder? Do you know why I say murder drones?
They're not murder drones. They're plane blowing up drones.
Oh yeah, I mean bomber, not regular plane.
Strategic weapons. That whole thing. We'll get into it probably. That is, you couldn't. You couldn't make a movie like that.
How can you, as a wannabe first world nuclear nation, allow an adversary to park two trucks within range of your strike fleets, your bomber fleets, and nuke them? How can you let that happen?
So we are getting into it. We're talking about Ukraine.
Yeah, we're getting into
it. Do you remember? It's been a couple months ago when they had these drones flying over U.S. military bases.
Yeah. Yep.
So tell me about that.
Well, so they said those were either civilian or corporate development drones. That's what they're telling us.
Yeah, well, guess what? It don't matter who's civilian development.
Yeah.
It lands on top of your plane and goes bang. It's fucking done.
The genie is out of the bottle with drones. It has been for a long time, but Ukraine is pioneering the shit out of murder drones and war drones. We are the Ukraine gets the credit for this. From now on, this is how warfare is going.
They had to first build those trailers and put the drones in. Then they set up a network with a repeater
get them into Russia.
To get the live feed.
Yeah, to get the signal. Yep, that's built in.
So is that like what is that thing, Patrick? Mesh? Is it like a mesh network? They said
it has to be. It's got to be satellite feed. Yeah, it can't be mesh. There's no way of having mesh work.
Each drone had its own flyer, its own pilot. So it was like 150 drones total.
Yeah, Zelensky was watching this live like the president would when they're going to get Osama bin Laden.
Oh yeah.
And what I thought was interesting.
This is harder to do than get Osama bin Laden.
Yeah, this was a mission. But what I thought was cool is that they had it in the roofs of the trucks.
Yeah,
and then the roof open.
Yeah. So that
did you see? And then the truck self-destruct. You see the fucker climb the truck and it went off.
No, I didn't see that one.
There's,
Really?
Oh, I didn't know
there's
the
a
trucks
video.
blew up.
Oh, find it. There's a guy crawls in the truck and it explodes.
Boom. Well, I did see that the cops in Russia were trying to shoot the drones down as they were seeing the drones
good
going
luck.
up, and they're trying to shoot them down. Dude, they did not get Putin, which Putin needs to be gotten at this point, in my opinion.
You know, Putin will be dealt with by his own folks. Just to
Eventually.
Gotta wonder.
Yeah.
because when they assembled this shit and had a building right next to the FSB building.
It's
in
crazy.
one place.
Did they really? Is that what's being
Yes.
said?
Yes.
This is all nuts, man. This is all wow.
That shows you how incompetent those fuckers are over there.
Yeah.
Now,
Well, they took out a third of Russia's because I think they
Strategic
use these bombers. Yeah, they use these bombers. These are like the nuclear bombers that Russia has.
yes, they do.
So a third
The
of
one
those
is
are down.
The older one is basically early '60s vintage, is what they launched the glide bombs from to go to the Ukraine. So, but it's how embarrassing is that? Can you imagine?
No, I can't.
I think that could be pulled off here in America, believe it or not. I know that's not people.
Trust me, you can pull up right next to 99.9% of all the U.S. military installations. You can pull right up next to it and easily fly. I could tell you. Well, I won't say it, but you could easily fly the runway and go right into the hangar where.
Yeah, we're not fully prepared for that yet. We're not fully prepped for that.
Nobody
We don't
is.
have. Yeah, we don't have
Nobody is.
We don't have countermeasures. We probably will. I'm sure we're working on it for sure. But we probably will shortly have countermeasures.
We also don't back up to an enemy nation, or
What are you talking
what
about?
they Mexico and Canada aren't going to come try to screw us. It would be people having to do that within our own nation.
The king of England was over in Canada starting shit, which is funny.
But what I'm saying, we don't have. We're not. We didn't start shit with the country.
No, you're right. Yes, you're right.
Not the same.
No, it's not the same thing. I just thought it was funny that I don't know. I have a tough time saying King Charles or whatever. First of all, I don't acknowledge kings.
Charlie.
Yeah,
No, I don't acknowledge kings.
Yeah, I don't acknowledge kings. Don't like it whatsoever. But he was over in Canada talking shit about America. But the first thing it was funny. The clip I saw, he was like, "We should acknowledge that we are sitting in the land stolen
land or some
from
bullshit.
the native peoples," and I was like, "What?"
Fuck,
Okay.
fuck right off.
Charles has always been atypical kind of lefty.
Yeah.
So, touchy feely, and all that stuff. And,
Yeah, he was messing with old chicks before Macron. So
well,
he was.
First off, that's a man.
No,
I'm not convinced that Camilla Parker Bowles is a woman. But
she's basically the same age as Charlie. So that's not.
She looks.
Yeah.
She looks old.
He had a 20-something-year-old one that wanted to fuck his brains out probably, and he went with the old cigar smoking or cigarette smoking ashtray.
I thought she was like his nanny or something at some point.
No.
We digress.
No.
But yeah, that's pretty amazing. What?
No, that whole operation that is freaking. There's been nothing like that in any military thing. Nothing.
Yeah,
Zero.
in a long time.
Not flying bombers, not people suicide bombing. Nothing.
Yeah.
Just
not since this is. Would you say this is? It's not on the level of Pearl Harbor, but it's.
See, they were trying to make some dumb shit about it. Oh, this is our Pearl Harbor. It's like, fuck you.
No, it's not. It's not on that level because we lost a lot of America lost a lot of people in Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
But the feat is probably up to a Pearl Harbor type thing. I don't know.
The fucking Russians are so lame. Yeah, and today they it's just coincidental. They did this yesterday, and today they started talking again in Istanbul.
Yeah.
You think it's coincidental? No, not at all. But I would say that I would not necessarily want to be living next to a Ukrainian power station
anytime soon.
Because they're going to bomb the fuck
There's going to be retaliations. I mean, there's no way around that.
Oh, there's got to be. That's when you humiliate the
Putin,
Ruskies like that.
Yeah, Putin's got something. I mean, they've been going back and forth. This has been going on. They've been going back and forward. But I think, in my opinion, on the politics side of it, Trump gave the Russians an out. They're acting like they don't want to take it. So, yeah, it is what it is.
Gave the Russians an out.
It's on them.
Yeah, I mean, he was trying to get Putin to like come to the table and negotiate peace and all that kind of stuff, but Putin is not having it, obviously.
Well, all they want to negotiate for is stalling.
So, it is what it is from here.
And you know what? Think about it now. Every fucking truck riding around, somebody's going.
It's suspect.
Is there a bomb in there?
This is similar to that thing. What you're saying right now is similar to the Israeli cell phone bombs and pager bombs. Because all those guys are thinking is, shit, my pager's going to blow up in a second.
Yeah.
Is that truck pulled over on the side of the road?
Yeah.
I mean, those truck drivers are going to play hell over there. They're going to be stopping
everywhere.
Yeah. And one of the things, and I don't want to see this, but unfortunately the genie is out of the bottle with all the... It has been for a long time. It's not because of the Ukrainians, but we will see this in America, unfortunately. Someone will try to pull off some version of this and all that kind of stuff. And
I just don't know that... I don't know that it's entirely possible in the same way. I don't know.
It'll take a lot of organization, for sure. And it'll take like for us to see on the level of what Ukraine just did, it would have to be state sponsored by someone else. We probably will see small things that individuals might do in this vein.
I guess there was a small thing over the weekend in
Colorado. Yeah,
and I haven't heard that. Well, I don't watch the news, but the only way I found out about it's one of the YouTube channels I look at, and the guy was they were talking about it. I didn't know this went on. That was straight up terrorist.
I didn't either. Yeah.
It was a terrorist attack, and the craziest thing. Why did no one in? Why would no one in? Why is no one in Colorado over there armed? Why do they have to wait for the cops?
Because it's Colorado. They're a bunch of...
Colorado's is cowboy country. I mean...
No, they're pussies. They've
turned into
total pussies.
Yeah. They've gone down the drain.
Dude, it's 420, dude. Dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
It's insane what's happening to Colorado, but I still don't believe, because we have a lot of friends who are gun folks in Colorado. I've done several gun things out in Colorado, all that kind of stuff. So there are gun people there, but... I guess a lot of them are trying to get out.
They're the politicians that are getting voted in are anti-gun, for sure, 100%.
Yeah. It's crazy to see, like, in Colorado, New Mexico, places like that shit like this happens and no one... Look, it can happen in Florida that stuff like this happens and no one's there, but someone will probably tag you up in Florida. You want to start walking around trying
you better be careful here if you start doing crazy shit, because somebody's going to shoot your ass.
So quick before we go to the break here, and when I come back from the break I'll give shout outs, but you know why I said murder drone, right? So, do you know Luke Skywalker, the guy that plays Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill, super liberal, nutso dude. Yeah. So he was on this podcast I was looking at. I can't remember the name of it, but there was a guy cooking, and he was talking about how he supports Ukraine. He's been sending money to Ukraine, and the guy was like, "Really? What are you sending money to Ukraine for?" And he was like, "Oh, I sent it for drones, And then they're like looking at each other, and the guy's like, like what? And then he goes, "But not the murder drones, not the murder drones." Yes, the murder drones. All money that goes to drones in Ukraine goes to murder drones.
If he thinks he's giving the money to the ones that are watching their murder drones, right?
He can think whatever he wants.
The reconnaissance drones tell where the murder drones were to go.
Right.
Yeah, he thinks he's better than
they are all murder drones. They are all murder drones.
I
can tell you that right now. But Mark Hamill's an idiot. At least face what you're doing. It's all good. You want to support Ukraine. Just don't think you're not supporting the murder drones.
Pick and choose.
Yeah.
My
My money didn't go to no murder drones.
My bullets don't shoot anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Live by the sword, you got to be willing to die by the sword. Us, we're gun guys, you know. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see here. A shout out to everyone who's out there. I am gonna we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back. I'm gonna do shout outs to some other business I want to handle. Make sure you guys hit those thumbs ups though. Those are needed and appreciated. And follow us here. We'll be right back.
Alrighty, man.
We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Franklin Armory. Franklin Armory provides 100% US-made firearms and awesome binary option triggers. Their focus and purpose is to provide freedom tools to all Americans, especially those in not-so-free states. So when you're in the market, please consider Franklin Armory. Right, shout out to Franklin Armory. I do actually have a Franklin Armory gun here that probably over the weekend we'll be working on this 22 ARC from them.
Yeah, we gotta come shoot that. I keep forgetting.
Yes, I do have that, and we have some ammo actually has come in for that.
Nice, very cool.
So here we go. So there's some ammo. Let me see. I've never even set my eyes.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
And maybe you know the answer, maybe you don't. You probably should ask Franklin Armory if you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Is the reason they use that weird ass 22 ARC is because it isn't on anybody's list anywhere?
I think so, but I don't know. I will check with them and find out exactly why. But I believe that's why they do some of the things that they're doing. You know, I know some people are like, well, why? Why are they doing it? But yes, they are. You know, they're staunch supporters of the Second Amendment, and obviously that's denied to people in certain states and all that kind of stuff. And they've been attempting to reverse that, right? In
Franklin Armory, they like to do workarounds. They like to do workarounds.
Yeah. So. I mean, yeah, they do a lot of fighting. They've been fighting the ATF, trying to get people things and all that. So I'll do something. As a matter of fact, one of the things I want to talk about, one of the businesses that I want to talk about vis-a-vis Franklin Armory is, they recently got their YouTube channel deleted.
Mm-hmm.
So they are. I saw this on X. I was looking on X. I saw they got the YouTube deleted, and then I was telling them, hey, you guys need to go to Rumble, because YouTube's doing this. Like, they're deleting my videos all the time. I think Babyface, same thing. Walter. Yeah, Walter, the same thing. So, I was telling them they need to go to Rumble. They are on Rumble. So it is Franklin Armory on Rumble. I would encourage everyone to go follow them. I'm following them right now on Rumble. Go check it out. I'll invite them. They've supported the podcast here pretty much from the beginning of the podcast. So shout out to those guys. And I think we all have to find ourselves over on Rumble these days.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. This goes back and forward, but every time that for the folks on the left that Republicans get in power, they go more after the folks on YouTube that don't agree with them. And this is one of those scenarios. I've seen a ramp up since the elections. They were always doing things, but yeah.
If the Google/YouTube people weren't such stupid fuckers, when they went after Trump and lied and told stories and and the whole Russia thing, and they banned people from talking about all this stuff. Why do you think the government's going after them now? Because they did all that silly shit.
I agree with you, but I don't think the government is seriously going after them. I don't see any real action happening there.
Well, they're in court. They're antitrust stuff and all that kind of thing. So
yeah, I don't know that it will get any results out of that will favor us.
Well, I don't know either. But in the meantime,
but I think they should be looked at. Mm-hmm.
If they wouldn't have been such turds to Trump, guess what? They wouldn't be in court.
Yeah, but this is not how the left thinks. Like right now, what they think, I've heard that the left is spending hundreds of millions of dollars to find the next Joe Rogan because they think they need to find their own version of Joe Rogan because somehow Joe Rogan magically got Trump elected, which is not true.
Let me go back in time for everybody that can't remember the guy named Rush Limbaugh.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the late 80s, early 90s, the leftists tried to do the same thing. They were looking for some kind of miracle left-wing Rush Limbaugh. And they
It's not
tried all that
possible.
stuff.
It doesn't exist.
Well, the problem with the radio is it's commercial. You have to have advertisers. You have to make money. Nobody wanted to advertise for those dumbasses, and it was always a flop.
Yeah, but they already have CNN, MSNBC, CNBC.
That's a flop.
You know, they have they have the BBC News and they have Al Jazeera. Like what else do they
don't
need?
think they have enough though.
No. Well, no one listens to any of that crap.
Yeah, I mean, you know, aside from my mother-in-law or something like that. But, bless her heart.
Right.
But
yes,
you know,
there
it's
are
like
people.
Those are not viable. Those
Mark Hamill listens to that news.
Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah, because it's not the murder kind of news. It's not the murder news.
I mean, I remember there was a time when CNN was the news.
It was.
Yeah,
they didn't show their bias. Yeah, they had bias probably, but
the networks have always had bias.
It never felt as bad as a kid.
But they weren't like in your face bias bullshit. You know, like where 3/4 of the time spent on air is telling you about global warming and transgender lifestyles and all this bullshit instead of showing you news like what's going on in other parts of the world. Like they used to do in news. But
I agree with you. You know, it's you know, I think that that search is kind of stupid. There is already people out there. People aren't listening to them because people have seen that they lied. And especially after COVID, a lot of young people who believed them through COVID turned on them.
Shots and poked and shots and poked and it's like it's all a bunch of bullshit.
Yes.
You know? I mean, they were, you know, and now that whole thing, now there's a new strain of COVID and there's this and there's that.
Fuck off.
And but it's not going to hook. They're not going to hook anybody this time.
Yeah.
They're losing credibility quickly.
And just realize this. I don't believe Fox News or anything like that now. I don't believe everything.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
Yeah, I don't believe everything that Trump says or that they're up to.
I don't watch that either.
You know, the big beautiful bill is going to do just as much spending as any other bill that anybody else put out there.
I don't give two fucks about the big beautiful bill, only for the stuff that affects us.
Yeah, there's some good stuff in there that I'll take, but these mofos, every time they get into power, they up the spending. But guess what? It's going to go through. Because politicians can't resist the money.
So can we have some fun? Elon Trump in the Oval Office physically fighting with a cabinet person?
When did this happen?
Right?
No.
Did you see when he was in there? He had a black eye.
Oh no, but he said that's from his son.
He said it was from his son. Yeah.
Yeah.
Naturally, yes, that's what he said.
Okay.
He had a physical altercation, I guess, with one of the cabinet people.
Really? With who? Where'd you get this from? You're CNN now.
No, Walter's got better news than us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, usually Hank's
illuminate us.
Usually Hank's news that he sends us is a couple days old.
Huh? My news is a couple days old.
When you text something, usually I've heard of it a day before.
Oh, okay. Oh, because now you're the new John Crump.
No, my source. I turn on YouTube and I see the stuff the people I watch. And
so where did you hear about this from then?
This was on the Brits had it on the channel I watched, the one British newspaper site. Because they had they showed the whole when he was in there talking and had like kind of news like a press thing in the Oval Office. And you could see his eye was like he had a black eye. And then they were saying that another guy that I watched said he had a physical altercation with one of this cabinet people. I don't know if it was Department of Energy or somewhere. One of those with a male. It's about the same age as him. I guess they got into a pushing match or something. I don't know if there was like punching, but and they're also saying because Elon has a problem with substances, and not
Okay, I
not
think
just,
yeah,
not just pot.
yeah. You're
He's
talking about
admitted.
ketamine. You're talking about prior
Yeah,
ketamine
yeah.
use. Yeah, I think all that's BS. To be honest with you,
The more
my
you
opinion
watch,
on that's all fake news. From especially if it's coming from Europe, I think it's fake news.
It depends on who's
Yeah,
pushing it.
and let's imagine that. Let's imagine somehow in the cabinet meeting or whatever. I'm not sure how they would get a chance under those circumstances to get close enough to a guy who's it's a lot of them in there, a lot of security in there, and Elon has his own bodyguards and stuff like that.
I don't think that's a room with full of people. I don't think they're.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's that easy, and I think if it did happen, we would know a lot more about it. He was asked about it right in front of Trump, and he said that it was his son messing around, and he told his son to go ahead and punch him in the face. And yeah, here's one thing I would say. Like, first of all, I don't want to. I'm not trying to defend Elon Musk or anything like that. But Elon is kind of, it's like our friend John, right?
He's got the tism.
Yeah, he's got that, and he's the kind, and just like John, he's the kind of person who's not gonna lie to you. He's just gonna tell you. So I think that if he did get into a fight with which he has, that's in the like Elon has been like that in the past, like in the corporate side of the world, when he had issues, he would wrestle it out with. And that kind of thing. But I think he would just straight up go, yeah, I got into this thing with so and so or whatever.
I feel like as the tism man, he would have told us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tism,
I don't know. It's suspect.
Don't lie.
Yeah, it's suspect to me. Yeah, it's suspect to me. So, but I don't doubt that there's power struggles in there though, because everyone, no matter how rich Elon is, no matter how rich you are, President of America trumps, pun intended.
Well,
everything.
Let me tell you that the guy that he was going to put in the administrator of NASA, he just unnominated him.
Yeah, which is funny.
Really?
Yes.
What did that guy do?
They say it's because he's not towing the line.
That's perfectly valid.
I think Trump said it's because he gave money to Democrats, but
that's perfectly valid. Why should he give him a job?
But their side is saying that Trump knew about it, but maybe Trump personally didn't know. Maybe his team knew. And maybe Trump listen, I don't blame Trump for loyalty tests. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. He's been burned already.
I mean, that's... But Isaacman, that's Isaacman. But, it's like what Bush said. Bush said, either you're with us or against us.
Mm-hmm.
I think with Trump, he cannot afford backstabbers up in there.
Well, not this term.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I mean, but it could be also his statements he made about science and NASA and everything too, because money's been cut from a lot of the stuff, and some folks are upset, but a lot of people are, I guess, excited about this guy coming on board.
Right.
But now they're going to get a FUD probably. So.
Well, I was going to say to you, I don't think Musk wants it, but and I think Musk put like you said, put that guy up. I don't think Musk wants it though. So who do you think?
I don't know. They haven't mentioned anybody yet.
Because you can't go the old school way. NASA has just been fucking around for a long time.
You mean you have some old retired senator that can't see past his end of his arm?
No. It needs to be a business guy. I would like to see a business guy, but I would hate to see someone like Bezos who's totally fake space.
Somebody who wants us pushing further into space as well.
Yeah.
Well, okay, that's because one of the things they say it might be because Trump has fallen for this Mars idea, and Isaacman was more the lunar guy, the moon. But I know everybody says Mars, but we can't even get the Starship into a proper orbit yet. So,
yeah, right. I agree with you. I think we need to go moon first. Moon is a good base. Then we start making links along the way.
You have to beat the Chinese back to the moon.
Yes, agreed.
The Chinese back to the moon.
Yeah.
And set up the orbital thing around the moon and do all that stuff.
Yeah.
The moon is easy compared to this Mars idea.
So they say, but
it's easy. They already did it. The NASA.
It's easier.
It's easier. Yeah. We need to keep our eyes on the prize.
Yeah, and stop
one step at a time.
Yeah. It's like if I come over to your place and you say I'm going to build a 30-story skyscraper right on my property here, and I'm going to tell you you're so full of shit it's coming out your ears, son.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it's like
no, I know.
Do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. It's like
well,
my dad was that kind of person. He'd build a 30-story skyscraper, right?
If he's crazy enough.
He was.
Yeah, listen, the idea of Mars is cool, but Mars is not the solution to our problems.
No,
so we can't see it monolithically as like, let's go to Mars, that proves something, because we already went to the moon. We need to be practical, and we need a base close to Earth that we could put people on. Yes, yes, Hank Stranger saying practical.
Practical?
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. Yes, you need to. First thing we need to have an American space station.
Yeah.
Not
the Chinese.
Yeah.
You see how the Chinese are mad? Trump's talking about the Golden Dome and all that, and they're pissed off about that.
We need to have an American where you have to, you got to pay to go there if you want to go.
Yeah.
We need to kick the Russians. We need to stop flying with the Russians to the international.
Yeah. We need to be able to laser people from space. Yes. We do.
Okay, Elon.
No, from the moon. We need to be able to take your ass out from the moon. And so, in other words, like, we need that. Yeah, we need to actually plant our flag there, actually establish bases. There should be people on the moon, for example, all the time. Not that the moon could be in danger. The moon could get hit by an asteroid or whatever as well. But
that's 60-year-old technology.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Moon base is 60-year-old technology.
Yep.
So it's just a matter of having the will to do it.
Yes.
Not getting caught up in this. As soon as they start talking about that stuff, they start talking about poor people and the homeless and the mantra that always comes back up and that how we need to feed everybody and that bullshit hasn't worked. Obviously, you can still
right.
But anyways, yes. So I'm like I said, they need somebody with a little bit of chutzpah in charge at NASA.
Yeah.
But
also focus. They need focus.
Yeah.
I think that Trump is not super focused, by the way.
No.
There's too much to
not on everything.
Too short of amount of time.
Yes. Yeah. So,
you have to let somebody like that's going to run an agency like that have a little bit of let him have a little bit of space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And not everything has to be approved by the Trump speechwriter. Mm-hmm. So it falls right. That's what the problem was. He wasn't following the party line, and Trump's like, no.
Yeah, but I think that's one of the issues with Trump. It's a double-edged sword. That it's like the big beautiful bill, right? All he sees is that it's the big beautiful bill. I'm gonna have the most beautiful bill, and that's all he sees. And so, like anyone, like Rand Paul is now his enemy, let's say, because Rand Paul's not supporting the big beautiful bill and the spending.
Thomas Massey he's calling out Thomas Massey, even though Thomas Massey is like the only person that says we shouldn't be spending more money on stupid shit.
Yeah. And Trump just sees as an attack, and that's the problem here, right? Because I don't think that that's an attack on Trump necessarily. It's too easy for all these politicians to want this. Like, for example, Musk and Trump differ on this, and Musk has been saying, I'm not down with what's going on with this big beautiful bill because all the money that Musk spent this time to save out of Doge is going right back into the bill.
Screwing it all away. Yep.
Yeah. So, there's something going on there, but really with Trump, the thing that, and I don't have Trump's ear, I don't have near enough plastic surgery or any kind of, like influence or anything like that. But obviously it takes a lot of plastic surgery because most of the people like really close to him I see have tremendous amounts of that. That there's a thing called Trump face now, right? You know about this?
I don't follow those.
Yeah. Or Mar-a-Lago, the Mar-a-Lago look that women are asking for when they go into the plastic surgeon.
Is that also a clit sculpting thing or something?
I don't know, but if you look at all of Trump's kids, if you look at them, they all have plastic. Like their wives wives all have crazy plastic surgery and all that kind of stuff. And whenever you see the parties, it's like cat women walking around. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it looks terrible. So
nothing better than a real 100% natural male.
Yeah,
Yes.
let me give some shout outs real quick here before we go to the next segment. Shooting Gallery is out there. Jade Grew is out there. I shouted out Hot Dog 990 as well. Kurt 24, Cibolis. Let's see. Cibolis says, "Why have NASA now? Anyway, Elon does it better." I kind of agree, but we need our own thing.
You need more than one option. They can't rely on one person.
Yeah,
because obviously. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, keep shouting.
No, you're good. Go.
No, because like I said before, we haven't even had a successful mission yet.
Yeah,
and a lot of what he's doing with that ship is never going to work. He's going to make it sound like it's going to work.
No, it's awesome, but yeah, we'll be right back, right? We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like High Point Firearms and Full Forge Gear, bags and gear for everyday life. Did you know High Point is an American family-owned and operated company located in Ohio with over 30 years of manufacturing experience? High Point is proud to be the home of the working man's gun and your source for affordable handguns and carbines with a lifetime warranty. So when you're in the market, please consider High Point. Yeah, shout out to the guys from High Point. Yeah, you know what? Listen, so SpaceX, so look at all the troubles that Musk had, for example, with Tesla, right? Musk hasn't been paid since like 2019. As the guy running Tesla, he hasn't been paid. There's his compensation package has been held up by Delaware courts. So that's an issue with Tesla being publicly traded, right? So SpaceX is not publicly traded. There are some. It's not just Musk. There are some private people. But the reason why I agree with you that we need two different directions. What if something happened to Musk? What would happen with SpaceX? It don't belong to us.
What happened? Yeah, what happens if it don't work?
What happens if they burn all their money? There is a limit to, even though Musk is the richest man. What if he dies?
Up and goes, boom, right on the side of all that stuff over there. Yeah. What happens?
I think they're doing a good job. They are learning their rapid production, crash and burn. That's how they learn what's wrong. So like even that last launch, they want to see what's wrong with stuff. But we need our own thing. Like America needs something that it owns. Maybe it buys technology from them, it develops things. But at the same time, dealing with Boeing and all these companies, they've just been sucking on the teat of America for generations and not accomplishing much.
There's not strong leadership. That's why that happens. You have to have people that are in charge that say, guys don't deliver by X day, you're out. Boom, done, over.
Yeah, they got to be tough with them. Yeah,
over. Yeah, I mean, and you got to set. SpaceX with the Dragon, excellent. They're coming up on their 500th launch, I think. Mm-hmm. I just see I get the notices and it's coming up to 500. Yeah. Awesome shit. It works. Boom. It works. Mm-hmm.
Even that last launch was amazing, even though people say technically it's a failure. It was a test.
Well, there were failures on both ends. Mm-hmm. The booster had a failure and the other one had a failure. But once again, it's going to actually... There's a lot of reasons that things are maybe not working, and at some point you have to admit you're an alcoholic to fix it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So maybe at some point you have to realize... Maybe this stainless steel, heavy duty, built too heavy. We don't have enough power to even get the payload. Because Musk has a habit of exaggerating. Mm-hmm. Exaggerating, like the thrust on the Raptor 3 engines I don't think it's doing what he says it does, and this miracle, not survive the trip. So,
but he has what it takes in order to push the limits. It's like Howard Hughes, right? If you look at Howard Hughes,
ended up
Yeah, it takes a little bit of
No,
crazy.
no.
It takes a little bit, but it takes a little bit of crazy, and they did develop some things that were useful. But it's his own money to burn.
I give him that. I mean, he's got a freaking organization that runs crazy fast, but sometimes you need to, you know, change your, you know, if your gun doesn't shoot like you think it does, at some point you got to realize that and fix the problem.
Yeah.
I think you can go. I understand that whole shoot and fire, try this, do this, boom, fast. But how many times do you have to fail in a row before you say, "Oh, we got to slow down this thing. Oh, we got to back down a little bit. We got to figure out what's going on here."
Yeah, but they're pushing ahead of what's going on, and I think they've already developed stuff we could use. Yeah, I mean, I think we're all, you know, pretty much on the same thing with that. We need the government to do this, but the government needs to function right with all the money they get from doing it. I'm okay with a lot of money going to it, because I think overall it does help humanity, even though it may not help like a microcosm of people somewhere, right? But we can't, like, California should have proven to us, LA itself, that we could spend billions of dollars and we cannot help people who are homeless and all that kind of stuff in the ways that we think.
It's such a dumb idea that you're going to fix that by throwing money at it.
Well, money can help, but it has to go in the right places.
It can't be kind money. What I mean, you can't treat these problems like oh, clean the fucking streets up.
Yeah,
Clean
open mental institutions again. We need mental institutions.
They go into a treatment program where they like it or not, and if they don't survive, they die.
Yep.
We don't keep hitting them with the Norcon stuff or whatever. Boom,
yeah,
boom, boom.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to be a heroin addict and blow your mind up with that shit, go for it. You're gonna die.
You have the liberty to do that. Yes.
Yeah.
And then sweep them off the side, clean the street, wash the shit off the street, clean up the tents. You don't be fucking sleeping in a tent underneath the interstate.
We should stop being so friendly about these things.
You have to stop this idea that they have problems. Well, fuck, everybody's got problems.
Yes.
Human beings need discipline. Human beings need discipline. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And they don't have any of this, they don't have any of that. Well, guess what? If they're fucking nuts and it's 9 degrees and they're walking around in 5 layers of coats, they're crazy. Put them in a place like they used to be, and put them in an institution. You'd be somehow surprised people straighten up when they get locked.
Well, everyone's not going to want to live like that. Yeah, we need to do this better.
I and you guys shouldn't have to see that shit. Your kids shouldn't have to see that shit. It's for the better of everybody to get these people off the streets.
I agree with that.
And
you're right.
Instead of spending money on all these other programs, when I see these people all drugged up and like this, I feel bad for them. They need to be taken off the streets and try to be fixed. That can be done. Trust me. Either they do.
You could probably save most people, not all people, though.
Well, you can't save everybody, and you just tell them that. If you want to be that way, you're going to die. Nobody's going to poke you with the stuff anymore and stop your overdose. You're going to die. And then you just take them off and put them in the crematory. I mean, clean up the streets. These streets are covered with people and shit and garbage. It's embarrassing. We know we live in.
It is, and also rule of law. You know, it's a lot of craziness going on. Yeah.
Oh, we're going to let people steal stuff out of stores and all this stuff. Put a fucking security guard with a shotgun. You want to steal that shit? You want to die for that bottle of hairnet? You want to die for that?
We're going to start seeing what we're seeing in Europe. I know it sounds like some craziness, but we're going to start seeing where people are just attacking innocent people in the streets willy-nilly.
Crazy fuckers do that shit too.
Yeah.
You know, the guy that they did this stuff in Colorado said, "Oh, I'd do it again."
Yes.
We don't need him.
It happens.
We don't need him. Yeah.
I always post on all I type is ROPE.
Yes.
ROPE.
We're too soft. Our toast is
the guy who admitted that he killed these 2 young people working for the Israeli embassy. Come on.
Straight to the gallows.
Why are we wasting money?
Straight to the gallows.
Why are we wasting money? You know,
ropes are usable. You get about you get a lot of rope. You get a lot of use out of that rope too. I mean,
But you know, a lot of this got bad. I hate to distract, and there's so many things that we need to talk about. But this got really bad because the country was being ran by AutoPen. It's not a joke. There were like you know, there was just some people that no one elected. I hate to sound like Fox News or something, but it's just some fucking assistants and Jill Biden running the country that don't give a shit.
Yep.
No, and selling that auto pen.
Yeah,
probably
insane.
That auto pen. Oh, no problems. All those pardons.
Yeah.
Every one of those is paid for.
Yeah, but now that's good. But that's going to be the thing now. Trump's still pardoning people. So now every day Trump's pardoning people. Okay, I think there are people that should be pardoned, but everyone who's getting pardoned shouldn't be pardoned.
Not very many.
You know. But he's still doing it, and we will see that Trump will, I mark my words what I'm telling you, at the end of his administration, Trump is going to pardon a whole bunch of people in his administration. We have now made that a thing, and that's insane.
Thank Joe Biden for that.
Yeah, that's forever now. I think that's forever now. Every president does that from now on.
I think so.
Walter, I don't think it's a good thing. I think it's horrible for America. I think it's like a red flag of our downfall. But it's the way it's going to be, though.
What was I going to say? One good thing Trump has done by starting to round up all the illegals and deporting them, all the other countries are saying, fuck, he can do it, so can we. Before Trump started doing that, nobody was even thinking about it.
It's amazing how it's happening now.
Now, they've all talked about it. See, they all came to meet. They all came to talk to him at the White House. They were talking about the Ukraine, but I think they were also talking about this plan to clean house in Europe. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna hear Trump talk bad about it. You're not gonna hear Macron talk bad about us doing it.
But there is talk in Europe of like, we got to get rid of all these crazy mofos. You got to
get the fuck out. You got to. These people are not. These people are not Europeans.
Compatible with Western society. They're
yes,
not.
Thank you. The Italian female prime minister said that too, and he's like, "Get them the fuck out."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you don't want to be part of society, then we don't want you. Everyone has to adhere to that in some respect in order for us to have a civilization. You know, you can't be out here going after people because of their religion and all that kind of stuff, you know. At the end, we're entitled to our opinions, but that doesn't entitle us to go out and start slaughtering people. You know,
raping women.
Yeah, so... I agree with you on that. Let me finish the shout-outs, because I know we're too, fired up. We're never going to get the shout-outs. Hold on, let me see. I don't know. Oh, okay, I'm missing a bunch of these. Where was I? Shooting Gallery is out there, I think.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah. Joe is out there. He says something about Grady Judd will get their asses.
Oh, yeah, we need Grady Judds in every county.
Yeah, Kurt24 says hi to us. Let's see. Night Train says, hey, live in Delaware. Okay, very cool. Shout out to Night Train. Hot Dog 990 says the government can't do anything right except screw things up.
They're deporting people right now pretty good.
Yeah, Night Train says the most terrifying words in English language are "I'm from the government. I'm here to help."
I'm here to help.
Ronald Reagan.
Well, yeah, that don't work. Yeah.
Yeah, and Jade Grew says something I did want to bring up. Pardon Matt. So, yes. I think he's talking about CRS, but also, what about FPS Russia? Like, if you're going to pardon some people. There are some people who are very unjustly suffering, right? I think CRS now has cancer, right?
That's what the word is. I don't know the details.
Yeah.
But but there's that particular case I think you should look at. There's a whole bunch of things about that whole thing that you could be on one side or the other or whatever, but I think at the end of the day, he got a bum rap. And at least he's, time served should be good enough. I mean... This is worst case scenario. I'm talking. I don't think he committed a crime, but
he didn't. That's the problem.
His only crime was hubris.
Yes.
His only crime was trying to be badass in the wind of government overreach. I think. But yeah, I think at this point he's paid enough of a price. I mean. who did he ever hurt? You know.
Nobody, and the keys were not real, and it was just insane. All of it was crazy.
Yeah. So it would be nice to see him get a pardon. You know, and I'm not mad at most people that are getting pardoned. I don't know why a lot of rappers are still getting pardoned by Trump, but whatever. I mean, I grew up in hip hop and everything, but I don't really understand what is happening. I don't know what's up with the rappers, huh?
Buying votes.
Yeah, do you think there's some kind of I don't know is there a connection between Trump somehow and like the rappers' lawyers, or what the fuck is going on with that?
I don't think it's buying him any. You know, I don't think it's getting him anywhere with the brothers. I don't think that's the.
I'm not sure why he's doing it, but the rappers seem to have a direct line to getting pardoned. You know, even people are floating that he might pardon Diddy. Please do not do. I don't think Diddy's getting convicted in the first place. But
50 Cent came out and was like, he's talking to Trump directly, telling him not to pardon Diddy.
Yeah, come on. I don't think Diddy's going to get convicted, but I think he is a criminal and he is a horrible person. But yeah, I don't understand why you would pardon him.
That would be a terrible mistake.
But
you talk about all this law and order bullshit, and then you do that kind of thing.
Yeah. But from what I've seen, the Diddy stuff, the Diddy trial stuff, from what I've seen, and I'm trying to avoid it. Like when I see on the news that some male escort called the Punisher is testifying, I don't want to see that. I want to go to sleep at night. I don't want to have those kinds of thoughts.
Well, okay, yeah, what you
of
just
a dude
said,
named the Punisher.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah.
That's if you watch a lot of garbage,
yeah. But I don't think what they're throwing at Diddy rises to the level. See, so they're trying to put RICO charges on him, conspiracy, all this kind of stuff. And I think he obviously is a really bad person. I've always said that. And everyone's always known that. That's always been out there. If you look at the Boondocks, Thuglicious, the rapper Thuglicious in the boot. Yeah, I think it's based on him and a bunch of other rappers and bullshit there. Walter probably has never seen the Boondocks.
Boondocks is a fantastic show.
I seen the Boondocks.
Oh, really?
What's his name? Uncle
Festus?
Uncle Festus.
No, it's not Festus. No, it's not Festus.
No, it's not Festus.
Who is it?
It's Uncle Ruckus.
Uncle Ruckus. There you go.
He's white. Yeah, he acts like he's a white guy. Yeah.
No, the guy who created the Boondocks, the young artist who created the Boondocks, he's a black guy. That guy got canceled, right?
Because of it, yeah.
Yeah, because he put a lot of the truth into the Boondocks. He talked about Oprah, shit that we're seeing now. He talked about R. Kelly.
The whole episode on MTV. They had a whole episode on MTV being like, it's just dumb shit for black people, and nobody.
The Boondocks was all truth bombs. He was dropping all truth bombs in the Boondocks years ago. He was talking about all these parties, all the craziness going on. So was Wendy Williams talking about a lot of the shit going on out there. But,
How does Oprah get away with it?
She's part of the Illuminati.
The Illuminati's white. She's part of another group.
The Illuminati she's part of the billionaire. She's part of the billionaire club.
The Illuminati don't got no brothers in the Illuminati.
You think there's no? You think?
That's
I don't know.
I
bet you differ.
Supposedly, she's part of a billionaire group that meets in DC or in New York every couple of years.
Yeah, well, I don't agree with you. I think there's a lot of. So, what are you saying that the Saudis aren't in the Illuminati? They're not white dudes.
They're definitely not in the Illuminati. No, they have their own.
What's the Saudi Arabian Illuminati called?
They're a bunch of.
We don't know.
Yeah, I know. I can't. I'm not sure I can say that on this.
You won't survive. You won't get the words out.
Yeah.
It's like you're not going to have a black SS guy, okay? I'll just say that, okay?
Mm-hmm. No, I understand. I understand that.
So there's groups.
So you think there's a Blackanati then? A Blackanati?
Yeah, I can see Black.
You think there's a Black Illuminati? Mm-hmm. Just like Black Twitter.
There's a network.
Mm-hmm.
And Oprah was a supplier to what's his face, the guy that got busted for banging the chicks and doing all that stuff in Hollywood. that's in jail right now. She supplied.
Yeah, Weinstein.
Yeah.
Yes. She was one of the suppliers of skin for that. So once again, that's all in that network. That's a
Yeah, but she was
network.
also you don't know, she was getting stuff out of there. Oprah is undercover.
She's a lesbian too. So
yeah,
but whatever.
yeah,
but
it's all good.
that's a different network.
Yeah, they're all feeding our children to the lizard people and the aliens.
They might cross streams every once in a while, but there's different. Yeah. That's like the Europeans that run the European Union and all that stuff. That's not the same group. There's different groups. I'm just saying that.
Okay, so, there's different Illuminatis. I agree. I would agree with that probably.
Yeah. And they cross and they do their thing. Supply this, supply that. We'll do this. You do me. You do that. But they don't live together.
Yeah. So what Illuminati are you in, Walter? Patrick and I have often wondered about this. I'm just throwing Patrick under the bus right now.
Like I said the other night on the chat thing, I'm fixing my Stargate right now. Once I get the Stargate fixed, I'm out of here.
You're out of here? Okay.
I'm going to go the other dimension.
Oh, just make sure you leave me and Patrick some shit.
I'll come back with some better stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just want to know what I'm getting left.
I'll come back with the pocket phaser.
Oh boy. Yeah. Walter is in the Cro-Magnon Illuminati. The secret society of the cavemen that have been running the planet since the dawn of time.
Where's my woman? Where's my woman? Woman?
Yeah. Let's see. We got 13 seconds. I don't know if there's any other things. We'll take a break. We'll come back here, and there's some other stuff I want to talk about. We'll see what these guys want to get into here. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of manufacturers like Safety Harbor Firearms. SHF is a quintessential family-owned small business, totally representative of the American dream. Safety Harbor Firearms is a Florida-based manufacturer of the compact entry stock and the SHTF 50 upper for an AR-15 lower. Also, SHF happily delivers on your Sten gun parts needs. So don't forget to check out stenparts.com and safetyharborfirearms.com. Okay. Before, who was it? I think C. Bullis was saying that, what's his name?
Walter is
his
a
name
time
just
traveler
went.
and your mind is now blown.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what he was saying about it. Hold on one second here. Oh, here it goes. Cibola says Chris Illog, he's talking about, lives down near Flying Ridge. Does he still live down there by Flying Ridge? Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of Chris Illog.
Yeah, Walter is a time traveler. What is that? Do you know there's a, like, I think it's DC Yes, we got those butterfly things from him. By the way, smash those thumbs ups out there, guys. We need and want and encourage you to smash those thumbs ups. There's a character in DC who was like a caveman, remember? And he lives forever. Do you know what character I'm talking about, Patrick?
In DC.
He's in the DC, I think he's in the DC universe because I used to see him on the Justice League cartoon. And he's like this guy who, like, way back in the caveman days. Savage? Yes, Daniel Savage. That's Walter.
Vandal Savage.
Vandal Savage. Yeah,
what does
something
he do?
Savage.
He's like old school, just...
No, he was like a caveman.
He's a super villain.
Yeah, a meteorite came down and it made him live forever.
He's meant to be a Cro-Magnon warrior who gained immortality and advanced healing abilities after encountering this strange meteorite during prehistoric times.
Yeah, and he outlives Batman and everybody.
I gotta turn the air conditioner.
Yeah, he cannot die, cannot be destroyed. That's close to Walter.
Well, I'm not gonna go that far, but...
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Don't jinx it.
Push my luck. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't jinx it. One thing I got to do. I don't know exactly how to have this conversation. But I guess we got to have it. We got to shout out, like we were talking about Chris Illog and other people, our friends. We got to talk about one of the famous dicks. Richard. Our friend Richard Maunder. So apparently he's very sick. He's over in jolly old England. You guys know who we're talking about. He's been on the podcast. The guy that wears the jacket with all the patches and stuff like that. He's been to SHOT Show and all that kind of stuff. So I guess he's really sick. From what I hear, very sick. So I hate to hear that. Kind of sucks. He doesn't want anyone to make a big deal out of it, but it doesn't sound too good.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard the details, so I don't know what it is yet.
Yeah, I haven't heard
specific.
Yeah, I mean, he did. He has been communicating with me on Instagram, which is like the worst place to try to communicate with me on. But yeah, I did see him communicating with me on Instagram, and it seems like he's really sick, and it doesn't look good. That's what I could say.
And I say a friend of the Hank Strange, the whole podcast thing since forever.
Yeah, forever. Yeah.
I mean, I was over in England in 2016, and up at something o'clock. He'd be up at like 2 o'clock in the morning, or whatever it is, that time change over there, midnight, 1 o'clock, and he's on the show and everything.
Yeah, when we do the podcast, it's real early in England, so he can't often, but he has joined us. He has come out here and visited all of us.
Well, it's midnight when we start in England, so
yeah. So it sucks to hear that. He's a really cool guy. I'll keep you guys informed with what's going on and the details, because I don't know exactly what's going on, and I know that he doesn't want to make a big thing out of it. But yeah, it sucks.
Yeah,
sucks to hear that news.
And he was trying to immigrate over to the jolly old United States.
US.
How fucked up? How fucked up is America? They won't take a British dude,
and a hardworking one at that.
Yeah, and so that's a subject I want to just touch briefly. We don't have to go deep into it. The South Africans, white South Africans,
right,
that have been persecuted over in South Africa by the black South Africans. Lots and lots of them would like to come here, and those folks are farmers, they're workers. They have, that's not their choice to leave either. But a lot of people here get all their panties all wound up about that, and I'm like going, they got people here that'll work, that'll they're not looking to get on the government cheese.
I'm all about immigration, about people coming to America. If you're going to offer America something and made America a better place, and you appreciate it.
I agree with that. I agree with that. We should be picky with who we just let in.
Oh yeah, 100%.
We don't need to just be letting in any old person,
No.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know what part of it you want to talk about, Walter or Patrick, for that matter.
It up. It was in the news, and then the president of South Africa shows up in the Oval Office with Trump, and Trump basically trying to bust his balls about it. I didn't see all of it, but once again, he left somebody kind of speechless, I think.
He was saying exactly what you think. Well, this isn't happening. We're not doing this. Nobody's calling for the death of these people, and it's like
it's been happening for years over there.
It's been going on for a long time.
And then Trump had, let me play this video, and it's like,
well, that dude came over here for is to try to get money. That's all.
Yeah, I think that's true. Now, partially, some of the stuff that Trump is showing is not exactly accurate. That always happens. But is this thing been going on? Yes, I think so. But what's been happening in South Africa has been going on for a long time, right? This is a big issue that's been going on way before I was ever born. And I'm like 53 years old. And if you go way back when, when folks were going from, I don't know, Austria, wherever they were going from, Germany, whatever, going over to South Africa and settling there, and the way that they treated the folks over there, that became a whole thing. That's what wound up happening with Nelson Mandela, going to prison and then coming out. And then there was a whole thing after that. But ultimately, South Africa, at some point, when was it that South Africa had, they ended all of this, and then they said, okay, now everybody magically, we are all absolved of all our crimes. Do you remember that? Everyone...
I don't remember that specifically, but yeah, but these people like farmers and stuff.
Yeah, but since what I'm trying to say to you is there was apartheid in South Africa. And there were a lot of bad things that those guys did, right? Just like anything else. But then at some point after Mandela came out, they said everyone can come up here and confess to their crimes, no matter who it was, whether it was the Africans, the black folks in South Africa, or the white folks who are also Africans. Once you're born there, like Elon Musk was born there. Yeah, but now you're an African. You were born there. It's like if you're born in America, you're an American. So
that only works one way, though.
Yeah, but
if you're politically left or right, that works different.
Yeah, but they had a parlay. And they had a magical, you're all now absorbed, we'll all go back to zero. That obviously didn't work because now...
You know that's not how it works.
Yeah, it's not working because now it's gone to the other side, and the black Africans now are taking back shit, which they feel like, so they're out there they're killing people. And I agree with what the people were saying in that press conference. It's not just white people that are getting killed in South Africa. A lot of people are getting killed in South Africa.
Right.
There's a lot of crime.
That way.
Yeah.
It always happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so let's kill our productive people, and chase them all the way. So then, and I hate to say this, a lot of those people over there don't know how to flush a toilet, much less grow crops. So or use a toilet properly. And they're going to grow food. No, it doesn't work.
I think this is a problem that comes when people... So it's like when we talk about reparations, right? So if we have reparations, let's say we have reparations and we took this money. We burn a lot of money in America. I'm not telling you guys I agree with reparations. But let's say we took it and magically gave it to people. Do you think it will solve people's shit?
No, I would be investing.
I told you before, man. I start selling donks. That's all.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, is it going to solve our shit? Or 100 years from now, will we still hate each other?
Wealth,
it don't solve this.
That wealth will be gone from those families in under 5 years. All of it in under 5 years will be gone, and whoever's running whatever business will be back owning all.
Yeah, and is it going to solve the fact that we hate each other because of skin color, because of religion, because of this thing? I don't like your face. It's not going to solve anything. We have to solve shit. So, I think South Africa is in a position of anywhere else, and the whole African continent is fucked up. And South Africa is one of the, not everywhere in Africa can put their problems on just white people. African continent has got a lot of natural resources, and it's still fucked up. So
it's been fucked forever.
So to me, in order for them to fix shit, people have to take responsibility for shit. And whoever's there, you got to work with them. They don't just go after white people. They don't like anybody who's not black.
If you disagree with the socialists, and that's fact, the ones that run South Africa, Zimbabwe, they're all socialists.
Yeah, but in a lot of these countries, so for example, a lot of Indians went to Africa to work, right? Not a long time ago, in the 80s and the 70s, etc. And they're killing those. What did those people do? What the Indians do?
They're not black.
That's exactly right.
When Obama went to get his roots in Africa, they didn't like his ass either because his mama was white.
A honky.
No, I know. I mean, when I lived in Nigeria, that all went down. Yeah.
Right, and that's the way it is everywhere.
Yeah, but that's not the solution to your problems, right? Ultimately, the solutions to your problems are go, look, right now, in this space I'm in, I'm fucked up. You know what? Maybe I'll get better. I'll take this job. I'll work there until I can get some money, start my own business. Then I'll do... No, Patrick's shaking his head. Why not? Why not?
How would you feel tomorrow if you didn't eat dinner tonight?
I'd be hungry.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I would do something about it, and I wouldn't spend my time blaming other people for my shit.
See, it's funny because you don't even understand the. I'll send you a thing after this about IQs and how people with sub 90 IQs can't understand hypothetical futures. They can't even plan ahead for.
If you live in a place. If you live in an environment where the weather never changes, it stays warm all the time. You don't have to have thick walls. You don't need blankets. You don't need if you're put in an environment where you have to adapt and it gets cold, you
It's
die.
hard. Yeah, because
They
you can't.
die.
You don't have a
Because it's not in the psyche. It's not. I have to say, it's not in the genes. It's not in the gene pool.
Mhm.
And a lot of those places in those countries, they can live in a grass shack with a bed made out of sticks, and they're happy.
Well, so and that's my issue I have with that press. So Lola and I were looking at that press conference, right, with the president or whatever he is of South Africa, and Lola was born in Ghana, and we're looking at it. We both had the same thought. This guy's here to just get money.
He's getting money.
It's always
That's
like
all he wants.
Yeah, but how much money do you need to get? Like, no amount of money that's gone into South Africa or anywhere else in Africa has solved anything. Yeah, and ultimately, people have to fix their shit. I don't understand why. Like, if you have this problem, if you have a problem of crime in South Africa, like, South Africa is the #1 place to get carjacked. You know what you start doing? You start murking out carjackers.
Africa. Sub-Saharan Africa does not have the concept of routine maintenance. Like, that doesn't exist for them either.
We
Like, that's
put
a
wells
foreign
in.
concept.
We put this in.
Yes.
We put generators in. When they break,
But they don't
strip the-
maintain. They don't maintain infrastructure. They don't do any of that because it's not.
They scrap it out and
Yeah, we're not helping those people. We're not helping them by helping
giving
them.
them shit. No, we're not helping them at all.
No.
They
Yeah,
need to
you're not
learn-
helping them by help. They have to help them. Whatever the situation is over there, they have to help themselves.
This is a Jesus Christ moment. You got to
Yeah.
help them.
And
help
for
themselves.
me, I think with the
fish.
yeah,
They
with
gotta
the I don't care if Trump gives the white farmers like a thing. I don't care because a whole bunch of different people get special whatevers. But if there's a problem in South Africa and the people of South Africa, whether they're black or white, don't solve their problems, people will pay the price. And whoever wins at the end is who deserves to win. So if the Africans kill off all the white people and then their life goes to shit after that, then hey, that's the way it goes. If the white
Walter
people
has a
kill
gun.
all of them,
Walter probably has a gun sitting right next to him that fed many a farmer, and then once that country disappeared, they starved. There it is.
So now
Zimbabwe is a
there-
perfect example.
Oh, Rhodesia. Yeah,
Yes.
Rhodesia was a perfect example.
Yes. They killed off and got rid of all the whiteys, and
And it's
they
a
killed
shithole.
all the farmland.
yeah, but then
And
so then
none
what
of them
happens is on
knew how to
you.
farm.
What happens is on you, right? I think.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
The best thing I ever saw one time was a documentary about South Africa after apartheid.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking to an older black man, and he says, "I was safer during apartheid.
That's
I
Crazy.
didn't have to worry about being robbed. I didn't because there was law and order. I mean,
Yeah,
if you,
and it doesn't mean apartheid was good, but yeah, you have to have law and order.
have rules.
Yes. You have to have rules in order for people to function. But if the black people in South Africa take over, and let's say they get rid of all the white people, that's not going to solve their problem. That's like moving. That's like thinking, oh, you know what? I don't like where I'm at right now because I'm out here banging like all my neighbors' wives and doing all kinds of crazy shit and stealing everybody's radios and smoking meth and doing everything. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to move to another state. Everything will be awesome. Yes. When I go over there, you know what you'll be doing? You'll be banging everybody's wives, stealing everything, smoking meth.
Back to what we were, that IQ thing is not there.
Mm-hmm.
So you're never going to...
But this is why we need natural selection, right? The stupid people need to die.
But...
If you let them
here's the thing. Here's the thing: is it's not just the stupid people. Look at Barbecue in Haiti. He's probably not the smartest one there, but might makes right in certain places.
But eventually, if those folks take over Haiti, then eventually, if they run Haiti, then what happens to Haiti is on them. By the way, I've seen drone stuff going on in Haiti too.
Speaking of Haiti, did you see what was in the news recently
about Haiti?
Yes. Mm-mm. The person who formerly of Blackwater, he still is in the business of
Eric Prince. You're talking, right?
Still in the business. He is still in the business of cleansing.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I didn't know he was into ethnic cleansing. That's news.
No.
Oh.
Okay, do a little background on the Africa, and it was Executive Outcomes.
Yes.
That was the name of the company.
Yeah.
They would come in. They were hired by the government. I forget which war it was, and they cleaned house.
Mm-hmm.
No monkeying around. No, the taking prisoners. They cleaned house, killed all the, and things got better in these places. But the UN didn't like that because that was, that's not going by our rules. That's going by your own rules. And so that guy that runs Blackwater has been hired, or he's, I suppose,
for Haiti.
He's cleaning up Haiti.
There's a good chance he might bring his fellas in there, and they're gonna. I tell you what, you bring an army of spec ops guys, and they'll clean Haiti up.
Won't take very many. Either.
Yeah, I mean they could take over anywhere.
They'll just every one of them be target. It'll be target practice all day long.
Yeah, it's not.
But then what though? Well,
that's the thing is your
law and order.
But
how long are we gonna just put some people in there who don't deserve it?
Walter, you're back to Zimbabwe at that point. I think.
Yeah.
You're back to.
If you go in and clean up Haiti and then give the government to someone who didn't fight and die, what is the whole premise of America? Americans decided to fight and die and risk being hung by the king by rebelling against England, and this is the result of that. America, this is the result, right? So
once again, we're going to go back to the IQ thing.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have a superior IQ to make that decision. You're going to fight. If you don't have the superior IQ, you'll go and you'll hide.
It's
okay.
I think it's a little bit more than IQ. It's also vision. You have to see that if you don't fight for it yourself,
that comes from intelligence.
I got to see.
That comes from intelligence.
You got to see past tomorrow lunch at noontime today.
That correct. Yeah.
So, someone's got to do the dirty work.
Mm-hmm.
Visionaries are all they tend to be the smarter ones.
If you don't make things better for yourself, you're always going to be. It's as simple as like we're gonna hit a break here, but look at your kids. Look at your kids. You could do everything for your kids. At some point, you got to teach them the fire burns and all that kind of stuff, right? Let's take this break. We'll be right back.
You have to be smart enough to realize that.
Mm-hmm. The Who Moved My Freedom podcast is made possible by our partners at 2A Commerce. Veteran-owned and with over 20 years' experience, 2A Commerce is the leader in custom e-commerce and web application development in the shooting sports industry. Clients include major brands such as Guard Dog Body Armor, Sylvan Arms, AccuFire Technologies, The Tactical Games, Warrior Knife Company, and yours truly, Hank Strange. Visit 2A Commerce and support this show by supporting them. Once again, visit the number 2acommerce.com. I think all of us have kids, right? We all have kids. So Walter and my kids are pretty much adults. You've got Lil Chromie, but we're all parents, and we're, you love your kids, you want to take care of them, but you try to teach them shit because you can't stop the real world.
Y'all have seen me. My parenting is he's gonna have to learn. He's gonna learn from mistakes and from doing. I don't ever let him do something that will hurt him permanently.
Yeah, you love your son. You don't want him to be hurt, but
if he's gonna fall over because he did something dumb, I'm gonna let him fall over because he did something dumb. He won't do it a second time.
Well, you would think that, right?
Mine tends not to do it a second time.
You've seen YouTube, right? You've seen YouTube, right?
It's true. It's true. And again, we're back to IQ.
Thank you. And you can teach somebody all day long what's right and wrong, but if they don't have enough damn sense in their skull cap to realize it's right and wrong, they're going to keep doing the same fucking shit.
You have to save yourself. It's there's nothing wrong with people helping each other. We're friends. We all help each other. We try to help people. We help people we don't know, right? Or we don't know that well. There's nothing wrong with that. But you're not gonna accomplish anything if you can't figure it out how to do it yourself. And this is the problem. And that's the biggest thing that I took out of that conference that you're talking about. I was like, okay, because remember the president of South Africa, he had all these white dudes who were either famous, like sports figures or whatever, or rich white dudes in South Africa, and they were agreeing with him. So ultimately, my question was like, what the fuck are you doing in the White House, and what do you want from us? Go back over there and fix this shit.
At some point, you're gonna have to learn to fish. I don't know what to tell people.
Yeah.
And how to clean the fish.
This is about everywhere, and I swear to you, like, I have a lot of friends. I grew up with a lot of people from Haiti. I don't want bad for Haiti, but Haiti is not going to get fixed unless if you're Haitian and you think what's happening in Haiti is bad, like, leave your awesome toast, like Patrick says, and go to Haiti and fight for Haiti. Why is it if some white dudes go over there, and I don't think that all the black it's not going to be all white dudes, but if someone else has to come over there and take over Haiti, even if they clean it up and give it back to you, you'll fuck it up again.
We're not. Yeah, if we have to come clean it up, we should not have to give it back to you. We get the spoils. We get to fix it. We get to do whatever we can with it. But then that becomes a problem.
I don't want those spoils.
I don't either. I don't want Haiti either.
No, but if you got it, you got it.
It's physically a beautiful place. It's an island. It's the island of Hispaniola.
Sure
yeah.
But there's plenty of other islands out there that aren't.
Yeah.
Aren't they?
Yeah, you can go right on the other side of that. Then.
Yeah.
The Dominican Republic is the island of Hispaniola. Have you ever seen Dominican chicks? They are gorgeous.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place.
If you get it even again, where you don't have the armed gangs as much running around, you'll have a better chance at it. You can't. The poor guy living in his hut or his shack, who don't got any way to defend himself, and he can't because it's illegal. It's never going to change.
I'm with you on that, but let me explain this to you. I've had like big arguments, like, because I have friends who are Haitian, right? And I've had big arguments with them. Like, they get mad if you say that Haiti is a shithole and all of this, and they tell me, "Oh, I have a beautiful house in Haiti," and blah, and it's true.
Well, you're not there.
My thing to them, my thing to them is, then fucking go over there and fight for that shit. Okay?
Yeah, why are you here?
You can have awesome things in Haiti. You don't need to be here, but you need to be willing to die for it.
Oh,
is Haiti worth
you need to be.
For?
So this is just the reality of life that we live. The same thing could happen right here in America, right here in Florida where we live. The world could change, and the question is, if things get bad over here, are we all willing to fight and die for it? And I will.
I'm not leaving Florida.
So, but what I'm saying is, if things were here like that, this is my land. This is my country. I'll fight for it and I'll die for it. If you love Haiti, if you love, like, I was born in Guyana, if you love any place in the world so much, and you get mad when people say shit about where you came from, go over there and fix that shit, because another person fixing it for you doesn't make anything. And if you're not willing to fight and fix for it, then it's not really your place. You don't really love it.
Don't wave the flag and pretend like you're Haitian.
Yeah.
That's the thing. American now,
and I've seen all the houses and everything, but I'll give you an example. Like, my mother-in-law on Lola's side, in first of all, Ghana is I think very different from a lot of places in Africa, right? It doesn't have all this shit going on, and Ghana has like stuff that natural resources.
Why doesn't it have all this shit going on?
That's
important.
Yeah, I think the people of Ghana, first of all, they produce a lot of cocoa, coffee, and stuff like that, and they've just run the government there a little differently. I don't want to say it's perfect, because there's been corruption.
But why is it better? What?
That's not.
They're doing something.
Because they work on it. It makes it better. But here's the thing I'm trying to tell you. So, like, her family have like some land and houses or whatever over there, and they're always telling me, "Oh, you guys should like come and take this over and do this." Here's the thing, though. They had to like go back there and fight for it, because you can have a house over there, and if you don't spend time there and someone goes and sits on that land, they'll take it over from you. Yeah, and it's now theirs. Now you have to go back and fight for it and do all this stuff.
That's why I am not buying land overseas in some place that I can't be there all the time.
I tell them, hell no. I said I already bought my little piece of Africa. It's called Florida.
Yeah,
it's called Trenton.
Yeah, I already have my spot I'm gonna fight for. I am not gonna go start pouring my money into some other place. This is my place. I'll fight for everything over here. I'll vote if I have to. I'll put myself out there. If I gotta fight, I mean, I do vote, right? But you understand what I'm saying. This is where I'm invested in, and people need to decide. And you can't have other people fight your battles for you and expect the situation to change. I don't care where it is. It's the same thing going on in Ukraine, but the Ukrainians are out there. They're out there kicking asses. They're fighting. Yeah. We are helping them.
I can't. Yeah. I don't want American boots on the ground, but I don't blame them for fighting for their own country. It's a noble thing for them to do.
Yeah, and I'm not against us giving every Haitian that marches, we put up a location, say, okay, you want to go to Haiti? Go over here. You'll get your guns and your ammo and your rations, and then you'll get on this boat, and we'll send you down there. I don't mind.
Go fight.
It's all good.
Yeah.
But you got to be willing to do it. If you're not willing to do it, you don't love that place enough.
Yeah, as long as they don't get there and sell it to the first person they run across.
That's the problem.
Yes, I mean that happens a lot. You saw what happened in Gaza, right? You saw what happened in Gaza to the big food district place that the Americans were running there, right?
What, people stole it and
they got overrun, thousands of them.
Well, yeah, they're starving to death. But it's kind of their own fault. I'm not saying I
thought you were going to say it's kind of their thing. Starving to death is kind of their thing.
No, but I mean, why did this happen? Why did this whole thing happen? You can't harbor terrorists. You can't harbor this. Okay, for sure there may be some people who didn't support what happened. The attack on Israel, but if you harbor these people and you protect them and they go over here and do this thing and then those guys go, well, now we're gonna fuck you up, dude. Next time, don't let those people live because you will starve. You'll wind up starving. It sounds cruel, but it's the reality of what happens.
Unfortunately, yeah. But it was not just a few people; it was thousands.
Because they are starving,
that's me. If there's something like that going on and I need food, I'm finding it.
They didn't. I guess they didn't go after the people in there. They just wanted the stuff.
Yeah, they just want food.
So,
they just want. Or they want whatever.
They're hungry. They're hungry. But did this come from nowhere?
No. I mean, when the people that run your settlement are doing bad things are going to happen.
Yeah. If you don't want your neighbor to come over to your house and kick your ass, okay.
Make sure when he shows up, you hit him with a ball bat.
Oh, you know what?
Come on.
I do have something.
You hit him with a ball bat.
Why is the ball bat? Now Patrick is going to get something. He must have he must have a ball bat. Yeah. I don't know, man. Listen, it sounds what I'm saying very cruel, but I really believe that at some point you got to. Yeah, but at some point you have to realize you're bringing some of these bad things on yourself, and you can't just blame the Israelis for it. Some horrible shit happened to them.
I mean, that's, like I said before, the Israelis never really finished the job before. They'd always start, there'd be a conflict, there'd be bombs, rockets, and then they'd stop because we'd tell them to stop.
Yeah.
This time.
This is one of these long things, right? This is a thing that's been going on and on and on, and we talked about this. You can go back to the end of World War II and America and everywhere else, try to figure out where to settle the Israelis, and then they didn't want anything except the Holy Land. You want the Holy Land, you got to fight for it. But in a fight, as Shaka Zulu said, you don't leave your enemy alive on the battlefield.
And they were terrorists to the British. They blew up British stuff until the British decided to leave in Palestine. And then they had their space, I guess. So
we're bringing this is a whole long thing, and ultimately it's I hate to go back to the King of England, but he takes his ass to Canada and talks about stolen land, and it's kind of weird because every land was stolen from somebody, including England.
That's called survival of the
fittest.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And to the victor, the
Spoils.
spoils.
Go. Yeah.
Thank you. And that doesn't change because you don't like it.
That's how it is.
Ask the Ukrainians about that, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah. That's how it is.
If they just rolled over, and they'd be getting all executed and fucked up by the Russians now.
This is something that keeps society, but the issue is when we're just allowing people to, at some point, these guys, look, whatever's going on here, people got to battle it out and figure out how to solve it. For sure, we're running, like, we got the nuclear.
I found a little creature walls down there.
Oh boy,
secret weapon.
Trouble.
Look at that. Who's that?
Let me see. Let me. Yeah, hold on. Let me switch over. I'll go big screen. Hold on one sec. Boop, boop. And here we go.
You see,
boom.
Boom.
Who's that? You say hi.
Hi.
What's up? Oh, he's getting better. Can he say Hank Strange?
Not yet. I know. We're gonna show off. Whenever we get around to it, I'm going to show off what I found.
Your coffee grinder.
Yeah, my expensive coffee grinder.
Mm-hmm.
But we can continue the conversation. We don't have to show it off now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When he was running down that trail, all I was thinking was, I sure hope there's not a snake out there sunning itself.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, we were fine. We
Okay.
had taken him to Hogtown Creek, which is, it's one of the creeks that runs through the middle of Gainesville, and it's known for having shark's teeth in it.
Ah, okay.
From 100,000 years ago or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Right.
We went shark tooth hunting, and then
did it rain on you too, or something? Or?
No, it was perfect. He got soaking wet being in the stream, and then we decided why put shoes back on him. We got to hike back to the car anyways, so just let him be dirty and barefoot. And he had a ball.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen that? There's stuff on YouTube or Instagram. These two kids like wallowing in this mud puddle.
Mm-hmm.
That's something he would do.
Jumping into it. And...
Yeah. Happy. I mean, the simple pleasures of life.
Yeah.
When you're a kid, before you get a mortgage, that mortgage will mess you up.
Who's that?
Yeah. What's up, homie? What's up? What's up? What's his dash? What's his dash? Yeah, see, there he goes. He's saying it. What is this?
He's playing with my pepper grinder. Careful. You got to be gentle.
That has all kinds of like settings on it. You said like a calculator. You were saying?
Yeah. So this is here. We're gonna show. Look, Ash. We're gonna show it off. It's a
I'll go
mechanical
full screen.
calculator. So this is called a Curta. Oh, it's seeing his face.
It's seeing his eyes. Yeah, there you go. Boom.
There we go.
It's called a Curta, and it's a mechanical calculator. So there are dials on. There's numbers on the top, and there are numbers on the side. You set. Okay. So let's zero it out real quick. All right. So you set your calculation on the side. So right there we have 21 is the number that's up. 21. Okay. You do a rotation on the top.
And what do you want to know about 21? You want to know how to divide it into something?
Depending, it's a calculation. So so you do one rotation on the top, you don't have 21, and over here it says that we have one rotation as well. So then you could say, well, okay, we want to add 70,006. Here, I'm just picking some random numbers. 76,554 plus 21. So here we have 76,554. You do a rotate on the top, and if it will focus, come on, hold on, trying to.
It's seeing your eyes. Yeah, there you go, right there. There you go.
Yeah,
right.
so you do a rotation, and it puts
575. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you do another rotation, and there's 153,129. And then you can also, obviously, you have to clear it. So, but it's just incredible because the entire guts of this thing is cogs and gears, and you can do addition and subtraction. And then through that, you can do multiplication and long division if you needed to. And then there's other things you can do beyond that, but I'm just not smart enough to do it.
Okay.
But yeah,
So, in the immortal words of Walter, could I ask a silly question?
Yeah.
what?
Go ahead, Walter.
If you know what you're kind of doing, can you do like code with that?
Possibly, you could probably make it do something like that. I'm sure somebody has calculated out how to do things, but it was mostly so. This was. Go ahead.
Yeah, was this what the hell was this used for?
It's a calculator. It's a pocket calculator from 1940.
To
so
calculate what?
Calculations, tabulations. I mean, what do you pull your phone out and calculate right now?
Okay, do pi.
I don't know how I would do that, but it's possible. I'm sure.
Yeah. I was thinking like the
it seems like a lot of work to me.
So it's mechanical like the Enigma machine, but it's the main use of these were for tabulations. If you were running massive calculations across payroll or things like that, at the time when the guy created this, your adding machine would have been the size of a typewriter. Big old typewriter looking thing. And then you have, instead of having a massive typewriter, you have something that you can literally put in your briefcase and carry around with you.
Okay.
That's like your pocket Texas Instrument.
Okay, cool.
That's exactly
all bueno. Okay, all bueno. Let me ask you this. We'll do a simple calculation. This is episode 1064. Okay.
064.
Yeah. All right. So, if you divide 1064 by 52, what's the answer?
Well, see, now you're making me do long division, which I am not very good at. So you need to be able to also do long division. I'm not entirely the best at long division.
Okay, so what would this obviously wasn't used for simple calculations, not like you would use an abacus or something like that. Yeah, this was used for rocket science tree or
stuff like that. Yeah, more than likely it was probably stuff like that. And did you take your penny with you? I hope you did. All right, go get mommy. They were used. So again, the idea was if anything that you're using a mechanical calculator, you now had a mechanical calculator that was entirely in the palm of your hand. And this one goes, I think, 15 digits. So with this, you go out 15 digits.
Oh, okay.
In today's world, it's completely impractical. I have an iPhone in my pocket that can do anything and everything at the drop of a hat.
But if we have an apocalypse, will you rule the apocalypse because you have this technology?
With the calculator, I don't know. I think a bullet will rule a lot better.
Yeah, but you can count your bullets with that.
Correct. You can count them all up. No, it's a neat collectible. It's cool because the story of it is neat too. The guy was in a concentration camp. He was in Birkenwald. I know we got 30 seconds. Mm-hmm. He came up with this while he was in Birkenwald concentration camp. And
was he Polish?
No, he was actually German. He was German, but he was half Jewish. He was half Jew, half Christian, so they still stuck him in a camp.
For a second, I thought he might have been Ukrainian or something like that.
No, he came up with this, designed it. We got 10 seconds.
Because Walter will have one, and if that's the case.
Post-war, he came out with them, and they're neat. They're neat little calculators.
Folks, let me tell you about U.S. LawShield. If you're serious about your Second Amendment rights, then you need to get serious about protecting yourself legally. Use promo code HANK for 2 free months on an annual membership, plus a locked-in rate of just $10.95 per month. Remember, the fight for freedom doesn't end at the range. Arm yourself with U.S. LawShield, and remember to use promo code HANK.
So, just real quick to finish that out. So it allowed you to do calculations. They probably had these at NASA.
The answer is 20.46 though.
They had it. They would have used them in aircraft for calculating bomb drops and all sorts of anything that you need big calculations. You could use it. In the early 70s, it basically died off when the first Texas Instrument came out.
Microcalculators, yeah.
Yeah, once the little calculator came out, these things were completely dead in the water. But today, it's just a really, really neat collectible.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
they're not very common. There's probably about 10,000 of them left in the country. So they're very, very rare.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that's
cool.
old, or is that something new?
Oh, yeah, this one's from 1961, I want to say.
It
Oh,
looks
wow.
in great shape, though. I mean, doesn't
It is, yeah. The guy, so the original owner, I guess the original owner's name was Stillman, since he put his name on the
look
case.
at that. Look at that.
Yeah, he had his name all over
What's
the case.
it valued at?
They tend to sell on eBay. Y'all are gonna balk at this. They tend to sell on eBay for about $1,600 to $1,800. They're very expensive.
And how much did you get it for?
I paid $1,200. There was a guy locally here in basically up towards Lake City. He posted it, and I've wanted one of these. The interesting thing is, I've wanted one of these for about 10 years. I've known about them, and I figured I'm only ever going to see them at like a museum or something like that. I'll never own one.
That's cool.
One popped up on Facebook Marketplace, and I was like, I'm never going to see another, so I'm going to buy it. And
Yeah,
I
it's
did.
pretty cool nerdcraft.
That's what it is. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
neat nerdcraft to sit on a desk. It's
Yeah.
completely impractical in the world of iPhones,
Yeah.
but it's
You
cool.
know-
Yeah, when your battery's charged up.
Yeah. You can.
Oh,
So again, I'm really bad at long division, so I'm probably not a good example of how to use this. But technically, you could use it for long division. Or the other neat thing is if you pull up on the top and twist, you're basically changing your what's it called? Your exponent. So you're at 1, 10, 1,000, 10,000. So
Oh, okay. So bigger.
you can make larger calculations that way.
The place, I guess, with place mark. What do you call it?
Decimal place, yeah.
Yeah, like adding. Yeah, moving over the decimal point. Yeah.
Yep. So
It
and this
is
is the
cool.
bigger one. The original one's a little bit smaller. The original one I think only does 10 digits, and this one does 15. So this one was meant for like government, military, things like that needed a higher decimal count. But it's really neat. It's completely impractical, but it's a cool little collectible that I've wanted one. The crazy thing is, again, how does somebody's brain come up with the gearing and the mechanics on the inside of this? It's nuts.
Well, the reason I asked about the Polish thing, because the guy that designed the Enigma machine was Polish, so that's why.
Yeah. So, and again, how does your brain come up with that stuff? It just blows my mind that somebody can think that up.
You got that mechanical thing going on, and you're seeing it.
Yeah, he was probably
Not only
dreaming
mechanical,
about
but
it. I'll tell you that.
math.
Yeah.
You got to have a brain for math, and I just don't.
And also when you're under duress, because you said he invented that under duress, right? He was in a concentration camp.
It's an interesting story. He had the plans for it in his head before he got picked up by the what is it?
Gestapo.
What's the Gestapo? Yeah, before he got picked up by the Gestapo, he had the plans in his head. They sent him to Birkenwald, and his family was a very well-known German engineering firm. So he was well known. So they weren't going to just kill him off immediately. And he told them, like, hey, I have this idea for this thing. Y'all give me some space in here and I'll make it. And they said, okay, well, if you produce that, we're going to present it to Hitler as like this modern marvel of German engineering. And then the funny turn on that story is about a year after he got liberated from Birkenwald, he had the patent ready to go and sent it to market. And so they don't really know if he was kind of just, well, it's not ready yet. Oh, it's just not ready yet. Oh, it's not ready yet. Because once it's ready, you're going to kill me. It's not quite ready yet. They don't know if that's what he's doing or if it truly wasn't ready until like a year after the war.
Interesting. It's cool.
Yeah.
Now
it's a neat little piece of nerd kit.
You got to teach Chromie how to use it, but I suggest starting with Abacus.
I'm telling you, that kid already, when I pulled it out, I walked downstairs to get it, and he met me at the door and was like telling me to open it up so you could play with it. So I got to be careful because I can't let him
Oh
play
yeah,
with
Can't
it.
let him-
'Cause
Wham!
I know how to open
cannot-
this up.
There's no repairing it. There are no parts availability. There's nothing. And interesting thing, again, so I'll get off on this in a minute after this.
You're good.
You can also 3D print these. There's a guy that came up with a 3D print file, and you can 3D print the whole thing in it's about 3 times the size, so the whole thing's about this big. But you can 3D print every piece of that and make one at home if you have a 3D printer, which is cool.
Yeah.
That's for your nerdy 3D printer guys too.
Yeah. And then you could probably make it into a codex. Or whatever. What is a code maker called?
Oh, like an Enigma? There is a 3D
Enigma
print for
machine,
an Enigma machine, I believe.
Oh,
I think a guy
yeah.
made that.
I bet you Flying Rich has already thought about it.
That was one of those things that I was like, if I ever saw an Enigma machine for sale, and I had the money, I would buy it. But I have a feeling they are very rare. Like every known one probably exists in a museum.
Yeah, I don't think there would have been that many. Who made the Enigma? England?
Germans.
The Germans. Okay.
Germans.
Oh wait, what? So what is that? Oh,
Britain cracked it.
Yeah, they cracked it. Okay. All right. Yes.
They had them on the submarines and stuff when they get messages.
Yeah.
And it was. I've watched a couple of videos. It was cracked because of one simple mistake. Was when the letters could not repeat, or no, if a G was a K, then a K could not physically be a G later on. So that allowed you to kind of extrapolate out, like, okay, these letters can't
a landmark.
Be these letters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And that one English guy, I can't remember his name. He figured it out.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yes, he played the character. He played the guy in the movie. Alan Turing.
Yeah.
Alan Turing.
Oh yes.
Benedict Cucumber Snatch played it.
Which said because he was gay, they treated him terrible.
Wait, was he? He was gay? I didn't know that.
He was gay. Yeah, and they found out. And he got caught.
They figured you could be compromised.
They did chemical castration, and he killed himself, I think, in the end. Yeah.
Oh,
I did not know that.
Yeah.
And here's somebody that basically won the war, and you treat him like
Yep.
dirt.
Yeah.
Benedict Cucumber Snatch.
He's talking about the Doctor Strange guy. So the guy who played Doctor Strange.
Benedict Cumberbatch played Alan Turing, I thought.
I know, yeah. But he also played Doctor Strange.
Oh, yeah, he did play Doctor Strange. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Doctor Strange was one of my favorite comic books, but they messed it up.
I don't know a whole lot about him. My favorite is The Punisher.
The Punisher? Oh.
Punisher.
I like Doctor Strange. Sergeant Rock, which they were going to make a Sergeant Rock movie, but I heard that fell through. And then I liked Spider-Man, but I liked Spider-Man where he went to the Venom suit. I got into that whole Venom suit thing. But it's not as good as the stuff that was Lola. That's not as good as the stuff that they put out in the movies. Kind of sucks. Have you figured out how to sell these yet? These Bushmaster ACO patches?
I have not taken the time to do it. I really need to.
Yeah. You got to go into patch groups like on Facebook and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, here's what you could do. Talk to Spencer, ask him if he'd be willing to be a consultant for you.
Yeah, I'm sure his fee is too high.
Actually, Chris works for me. He does that stuff too.
Yeah, Chris, you can talk to him.
I was thinking I need to set up a marketplace page on my website that can host that sort of crap.
Yeah.
You should have a place where you can sell. You should have that kind of stuff. You could have T-shirts. You could have all kinds of.
That's what I was ultimately thinking. Is I really need to set something like that up because I have a bunch of that sort of. And then I could also sell like one-offs. Like, hey, you want to buy? Yeah. I have this part that came in. You need that? I have it up there. Buy it.
Get rid of your extra junk.
Yeah, exactly.
Make some patches for the FS 2000.
Make it like a whale.
Yeah,
it's like a.
We could do an FS.
You could get into the whole weird gun patch game.
Let's see. FS 2000. See if they ever made
it'll be awesome. By the way, Alaska Gun Dad is here. Shout out to him. Jade Grew says, "Does Patrick know how a 3D print? Does Patrick know a 3D print program that doesn't try to tell you what you can and can't print?"
That's a Flying Rich question, because I know that there are some that if it detects a gun file, it will just say, no, we ain't doing this, which is insane to me. Yeah, go find Flying Rich. He's more.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a way you can hack that. But yeah, Flying Rich is a point. You could check out Control Pew. And there's some other.
Pew would be able to tell you. Control Pew is probably a good source too, because he probably knows all this.
Or Print, Shoot, Repeat on YouTube.
Yeah, print, shoot, repeat. I bet he's hard to get a hold of, though.
Probably, but does he put that kind of stuff on his channel, or does he show just shooting the guns?
I don't actually know.
Oh, okay.
I don't follow him very well.
He's a cool guy, though. I think he probably has like some kind of thing set up there, or you can look in his description and see what he does. You know, I've met him in out in the real world,
and you didn't realize it because you never see his face on camera.
Yeah, at first I didn't realize it. You know, he's just this little cute dude, and then he goes, yeah, a very nice guy, and he goes, Hank, it's PRP. Yeah, he's like, it's PRP, and then at first, my brain. Like if I'm not thinking about it, I go PRP. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, what's that mean?
And then I was like, oh, okay. Print, shoot, repeat. I get it. Yeah. No, he's cool though. He's cool. So.
Yeah, Rich was working on that today, wasn't he?
Yeah. Don't I have a kit? Don't I have one of these kits somewhere?
It's sitting in my house, and I need to finish it for you.
I want one of those 3D printed blowers.
Yeah. So Rich is working on that, right? Or somebody's working on it.
He was gonna make one of them that's out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you're listening, Rich, I need one.
Yeah.
Dibs. What's going on with them 6 barrels and 6 bolt heads on the Gatling gun?
Oh yeah, you and Rich have a project going on. Who's your project manager?
Good news on his front, though. I actually have a paid. For the first time ever, I had somebody send me a Set Me kit. And it is a paid project, and I told him it's going to be a 2-month long. You better wait. I don't know. Because I made him the agreement that I was going to use it to make a video with as I did it.
Mm-hmm.
And the good thing is, now if I'm working on that one, then I'm going to work on Rich's at the same time.
Oh, okay. Hold on, Walt. Let me go full screen, Walt, so Walt can show us.
Rich might actually get his Set Me here soon.
Oh, okay.
I need to finish this one. This is one my dad started.
Yeah. It needs a barrel.
Barrel it and weld it all together. And
you got most of the hard stuff done. It looks well.
Oh yeah, my dad did the hard.
Let's see a full shot of that again, Walt. Hold on before you put it up. So,
and for anybody listening, I'm not offering services yet on Set Me G3s. There's a chance I'll be offering it. I want to see how this one goes before I offer it as a paid project. It's going to be expensive though, so prepare your butts.
The main thing is you got to make sure that you get primary extraction before you weld everything up permanently.
It's a G3s are a pain in the ass. Roller guns suck.
Roller guns suck.
They're just such a pain.
Yeah, this is supposed to be on this side, and then this is. Anyways, yeah, I got barrels. So it's not a problem with the barrel. I just have to finish it.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been very motivated. So.
I know the feeling
for that, anyways.
Yeah. Are you making some kind of jig or something for that, Patrick, or you don't know yet?
I am gonna have to either 3D print it. I probably won't 3D print it. I do need to get a jig for welding the. One, I need to order the jig for doing the panel mag release because I actually have that as another project. And then I do need to get a jig for welding the rear sight in place, the rear sight tower. Yeah, there's a printable jig for that, but I don't know if anybody makes a metal one. The thing is, once you start doing more than one of these, it starts becoming where I'm not going to just do a 3D printed one. I'll pay the money to have a nice jig made.
Right.
Yeah, so...
Well, this was one. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say this is gonna be a test. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not offering build services yet. This is a guy that I've done some other work for. I need to look up who it is because I feel like he might watch the podcast as well, but I don't remember for sure.
Okay.
So I made an agreement with him that we're gonna use his as the one for doing a video that is going to go up on Rumble, by the way, because YouTube will not allow that anymore.
No.
So his build is going to go up on Rumble, and we'll share it out on YouTube saying, hey, if you want to go see it, it's over here.
Okay.
But depending on how this project goes and if it's worth the money, we might offer build services. It's just, they're very difficult. Set me's are very difficult builds.
C-Bullis says, I saw these kits on Atlantic Firearms last week.
Yeah. This particular receiver is one of the Century Arms cast receivers that they
Oh,
did. Yeah,
okay.
originally Century Arms receivers were cast,
Yeah.
and it is an intricate casting. It was done by an
Yeah.
aerospace company that does aerospace type castings. Um, so the rear sight is cast right into the back of the receiver.
Really? Oh yeah, and those
Yeah,
notches, those sight mark things are
yeah,
weird
they're
too.
already and the place where they
That's
put the
wild.
soil and all that stuff. Yeah, stainless by the way too.
Hmm.
Stainless.
Wild. Okay.
So technically, I could probably weld this together and just leave it in this
Hmm.
kind of and a kind of little bit of battlefield pickup kind of feel about it.
Yeah, make it look shitty
Hmm.
on
Hmm.
purpose.
Well, um, yeah, this one here I
Is
have
it
another.
is that in any video games? Probably.
The G3's
The
in a
G,
lot of video games. The
Yeah.
Set Me not so much.
yeah, sent me. German engineers left Germany, went to Spain,
Yeah.
developed the sent me. Then they went back when they could. They went back to Germany and
Post
did the
post all the
HK.
crazy. Yeah, they went back to HK and said, "Oh, we got this now."
Yeah.
So, what
So,
projects have you been working on, Walt? If you haven't been doing the gun projects, you've been doing what, like mini bikes or something? What have you been up to?
well, let's just say Saturday I was at the shop. I worked on one of my mini bikes a little bit. I had to make my own throttle cable. I had to cut it the length and solder the little end on and all that. I'd never done it before.
Hmm.
So, and then somebody else came over and worked on his stuff while I was there, Mike. And then,
I knew that somehow.
Always the same
that was
person.
Yes.
he was working on it. I didn't have to help any. He was
That's
painting
nice.
stuff and doing stuff like
Hmm.
that, which is
Hmm.
good. I just kind
Mhm.
of supervised the madness.
It's
Hmm.
Um,
it's Walter. I can tell you, I have become that. You gonna come bring the naked boy in here? All right, tell him bye bye. Tell him good night. Oh,
Good
hold on.
good
night.
night.
Good
Bye bye.
night. Good night. Bye bye.
I have become that for some friends of mine now up here in Gainesville. Where if things, I got a phone call the other day that hey, I built a crink for a customer, a friend at this point. He's not just a customer; he's a friend of mine.
Hmm.
I built his crink out. He found a parts kit and built it out. And he messaged me the other day. He was like, "Hey man, I found the front muzzle brake for a crink. I found one online and I bought it, but it doesn't fit. Can I come use your tools to fit it?" And I was like, "Yeah, come on over." And of course, who do you think actually did the fitting of that tool? Do you think he did it, or do you think I did it?
Yeah, yeah,
So
He
I
did
know
it in
the feeling.
spirit.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
yeah. So Saturday they went to lunch, came back, did a little more over there, and then Sunday I'm putting drywall up in the shop where
Hmm.
the storm because my landlord is a JO, and
Hmm. Oh, so you never got that fixed since back last hurricane season?
no. So
Wow. Wow.
I did some last weekend.
You're
And
taking that out of rent though, right?
yeah.
Hmm.
And so I was there Sunday. We finished the back of the office. The front's done too. Got to do the bathroom in there,
Hmm.
and then
Yeah. Plus,
what
you were
else?
doing so you have what the CNC machines are in.
Yeah, the new ones are there. They're set up.
Hmm.
We just got a shipment of stuff we need: new tool holders, some new vices,
Hmm.
more money, more money, more money, um, to start actually making stuff on the new machines. So, and we got plenty of things to make. So,
Hmm. Hmm.
but
I did.
anyways,
You got to make some mini bike stuff too, man. I was gonna tell you if you want a an e-bike donor. I have an e-bike donor we can wheel and deal on an e-bike, and then you can make an electric mini bike.
I have so many unfinished projects.
I know the feeling.
I am not starting any. I'm
No
so
new
tempted every
business.
day to start some new mini bike project, but I got to fix the ones and I got a couple I got to get running
Hmm.
really well and
I-
put them up for sale.
This
And
this week's going to be a little bonkers for me. I ordered a mini split for the garage.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool.
So whenever it
did
comes
get,
in,
you
I'm
did
gonna
get
be
it. Yeah,
I'm gonna be a little bit busy trying to get that
yeah.
put in.
Oh, you got
Are you
Chromie
gonna
to
try
help
it?
you. Chromie will help you.
are you gonna do the hookup yourself, or are you gonna get somebody else?
Yeah. So it's the panel is here. My workbench is here. the mini split will be like right here and on the outside wall. It's
No,
like
but I mean,
6 feet wide.
the gas stuff and all that stuff.
The one that I got is pre-charged, so all I have
you
to
just
do
snap it together.
snap it together. I am a little lucky. My neighbor down the street, which I'm going to offer him $50 or $100, is a AC tech professionally.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm gonna see if he can come over because you have to vacuum down the system for like 30 minutes before you open it. I'm gonna see if he can come over and do that for me one afternoon.
Put the gauges on it and all that.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So you could cut the hole in the wall. Oh, okay. You can cut the whole
I'm gonna
frame.
do the wiring. I'm gonna do all the electrical. I'm gonna do the hooking it up, and then I'm gonna give him a call one evening and say, "Hey, I got $100. Can you come over, vacuum it down, and let me flip it on?" But I'm done. I'm done with the heat. It's too.
No, you need that thing.
Hot.
You need that, and then I know Chromie comes in there too. So
it's been killing both of us. Yeah, and I don't want him playing out there if it's so damn hot.
No, that's good. That's good. You.
It'll be a good use of our money.
Yeah, you got that worked out.
And
I mean, we need to do this Franklin Armory thing though. So I think I'm here this coming weekend. So
okay, we might get it done this weekend then.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what Walter's getting up to.
You need to go out and hop on your tractor and mow because it is.
Yeah, I got a lot of mowing to do. I got bush hogging to do, mowing to do. I actually we had to put in a new the pump is the well, and the well pump and all that starting to act up, and then Lola decided she wanted to, because she's got a water softener on that. And then and then we put an actual concrete slab. It was like a whole thing. I think it comes up to like 10, 11 grand.
Life is expensive.
I'm waiting for my whole house thing to get installed.
You're getting your whole house generator?
We've signed the papers and the gas meter's been upgraded.
Sweet.
Now it's fantastic.
Waiting for the stupid permit. Yeah, it'll be nice. I'll be balling, bitch. I'm turning on every light in the house.
What wattage did you get?
It's a 22 kW.
Is it propane, natural gas, or is it diesel? Natural gas. Oh, because you have natural gas hookups already. Oh, sweet. No, that's cool.
That's fantastic. Run.
Yeah. You know, I found out now I can't, because I did the Cybertruck thing where the Cybertruck powers your house. I can't add a whole house generator to my house.
Backflow all of it?
Yeah, well, because Tesla says that would void my warranty on everything. Even though my stuff doesn't work yet, I have the 5th gateway from them sitting out here. It came today. Because that system is not fully functional over here. So I could charge my Cybertruck, but because I'm on the 5th thing, so the 4th one, when it came here, the inspector came and wanted to see it working, and it was all hooked up, but they didn't get the software in it, but that has nothing to do with anything. He said, I want to see this running, shut off the power to the house, plug in the Cybertruck, so I plugged in the Cybertruck, shut off the power, it was working, Cybertruck was running the house, and then I started to see yellow smoke coming out of the thing. And he was like, shut everything off.
Yeah, lit something on fire.
Yeah, something in there melted. So then I had to get another one. That was like a couple weeks ago. But the guy was telling me, he was like, yeah, you can't have I can't have both. I can't have that and a whole house generator. But with the well that's getting done, the guy is going to put a cutoff switch on there for me and a generator plug. So if the power goes out, I could go plug a generator or something into the well. Because my well is on a separate switch. The Cybertruck won't run the AC, but it'll run everything else in the house.
That's at least you can keep stuff cold, keep your drinks and food cold.
Yeah, but the well thing is
awfully nice when it's
Walter's going to be bumping his AC. I know.
I'm going to be balling, baby. I'll tell you what.
Yeah. I was telling Lola this weekend we were in Destin, and when we were driving back, I was like, you know what? This morning I felt like getting up and calling Walter and telling him to make me breakfast. I'm coming over. And Lola was like, first of all, you're not even going to make it all the way out there.
Yeah, Destin's only like 8 hours away from me, so you'd be okay.
I was up early. I was getting like sunrise, because they're an hour ahead. So sunrise there is like 5:40, hour behind, yeah. So sunrise is like 5:40 over there. So, but that's cool. I can't wait until you get your you get your old house generator, and then I can tell everyone where you're at in Tampa.
You keep those guns lit because people are going to see that. I've told my parents before, they have one too.
I thought Walter was going to pull out the Mogadishu issue. Yeah. Or what was it? What is it? Not Zimbabwe. What is the thing, Patrick?
Rhodesia.
Yeah, because you
work too.
Just because I have power does not mean that you also get power.
No, put all your shades down on your house.
Yeah.
Don't let anyone see the lights.
After that hurricane last year that tore everything up, they were without. Well, they got power back after 48 hours. Mm-hmm. The other half of the neighborhood, I guess, was on a different grid, and they didn't get power back for another 3 days. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you better keep that gun ready if people start snooping around. Keep a gun on you.
We've had
people
that
start getting desperate.
Next block over, the power's on and our power's still off.
Yeah.
Yep.
You might not want to go to the guy's house there's a freaking armored UN vehicle sitting out in his garage. You might want to leave that guy alone.
Leave the ferret man alone.
Yes.
Leave that crazy guy alone.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, we're at the 9 o'clock hour. I want to definitely thank everyone for hanging out with us. What is this? Let me see. Night Train says, next time you communicate with Richard Monder, please let him know the Strangerholics are thinking about him and wish him the best. Absolutely. I will do that. I'll try to get a follow-up and check up on Rich. I guess, I don't know if we'll be able to see him. I think he said he doesn't think he'll be able to travel. So I don't know if we'll be able to see him over here. But yes,
I will pop on the show once.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get him. Yeah, I'll see if I can get him to come on the show or something like that. And then he's on. I'll find out what social media he's on or where anyone could communicate with him, and I'll maybe pass that along to you guys. Before we wrap up here, I want to give these guys a chance to tell you guys how you can follow them, support them, etc. Let's start with Babyface P.
Chrome Vandium Arms. If you're looking to get some work done, don't ask about a set me quite yet. I might have some news in the future, but not quite yet. Beyond that, I am taking on work. Backlog is starting to fill up. I'm about 3 weeks to a month. No, I'm actually about 4 to 6 weeks right now because things are getting a little hairy. But You might as well give me a call, get yourself in line. I'm happy to take some work on from you.
Awesome. There you go. And then Walter of Safety Harbor Firearms.
Safety Harbor Firearms, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Rumble a little bit, Player a little bit. Yeah. And then there's Dirtfoot Racing, same places, Vinny Bike stuff. And then there's Stunt Parts, which is stuntparts.com. Or you can give us a call at the shop. Same thing with Safety Harbor Firearms, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Follow us all here, Rumble. I think, Babyface, you got one.
Yeah, there's going to be some more stuff coming out here soon when I get time to start on that guy's project.
Cool. And Safety Harbor Firearms has one. Obviously, there's this one you should follow. And then follow Franklin Armory as well. They're here on Rumble.
Armslist.
Armslist. Yeah, I think everyone needs to show up here. So follow all your favorite companies and 2A guys, all that stuff on here, because I think we're going to find it useful. I find it useful right now. Mm-hmm.
One thing we didn't mention was about the ATF and the DEA getting together.
Oh, bad juju.
Bad juju, Buana, bad juju. If you people out there listening, let your representative know that's bad juju. You don't support that. Yeah,
not a good idea. I forgot to talk about that. Maybe next time. Yeah. That's not a good idea. So, Patrick, did you want to say anything on that?
No, I agree with y'all. Bad stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, we are out of here. Big thanks for hanging out with us today. We'll see you next time. I'm going to hit all the buttons right now and end this. We'll see you. We're out of here. Peace. Thanks, Walter. Thanks, Patrick. Where'd the button go? Okay. That's weird. This thing signed me out. Oh, here we go. Bam. All right.